Everyone, welcome to our October 16th, 2025 special magistrate hearing for the building division. At this time, please silence all of your devices. And if you have to take a call or you need to speak to your neighbor next to you, please take it outside because the voices pick up here and we're recording. If there's anyone who wishes to speak at today's proceedings, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you all swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings? Thank you. You all may be seated. Our first case is a new business case on page 2. Senior Inspector Alexander Boris, property address 1524 Southeast 13th Street. Owner Ryan Investments, LLC. Case number BE 25090099. Notice posted at the property on 9/17/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alexander Albores, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number and address as read. This property has been cited for violation of City Ordinance 9-280D due to the wood sheathing and trusses being left exposed to the elements, resulting in visible deterioration. The case was created on 9/12/2025. City's requesting for the magistrate to find a violation exists and to grant the property owner 35 days to come into compliance or a fine of $500 per day thereafter. I believe there's a respondent here.
Is there a respondent here for 1524? If so, you can come here to the podium. 15, yes, right here, sir. Thank you. Press the button.
Okay, all right.
You're good. Now state your name for the record.
Richard Gaston.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance within 35 days?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Yes. The city has asked me to, your microphone on. Oh, sorry.
The city's asked me for 35 days to bring the property into compliance or a fine of $500 a day. Are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance within that time?
We've been trying to, but we had it sold, and the guy defaulted, and he was going to have the engineer come and look at one of the problems, and so they canceled that because he defaulted, and we have a new listing, or we have a new buyer now, and he's setting up an appointment with the engineer to come and take a look at it. So
Okay.
It would be within the next week, probably.
Okay, and when is the closing on this property?
I'm sorry, what is the what?
The closing, you have a new buyer?
It's before, before the 28th of this month.
Okay, all right.
So within the next 2 weeks, I believe, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, if I grant the 35 days and the property changes hands during that time, what will happen?
So a couple of things, Your Honor, if I could. For the record, Rhonda Montoya Hassan with the City Attorney's Office. Just for the record, the corporate entity that owns the property is currently administratively dissolved. And the gentleman that's here today that I've met before, he has an expired driver's license. So technically, there's really nobody on behalf of the entity legally to be able to speak, to have standing. We wanted to allow him to speak as an interested party, but I just wanted to make that clear for the record. In terms of whether the property is going to be sold or not, the new property owner would still have to provide that engineering report to the city in the event that that it is sold.
Okay, so the case doesn't close and reopen under a new
No,
entity.
and under Chapter 162, the seller would have that obligation to notify the buyer of the violation.
Okay.
Well, he's aware.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So I'm going to grant the 35 days because you said that this is going to be taken care of in a couple of weeks. If you run into a problem, make sure you contact the inspector.
Okay, there were two things.
Yes, there's
Yes.
one more case. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
The next case is on page 28. Property address 1524 Southeast 13th Street. Owner Ryan Investments, LLC. Case number BE 25080125. This case was first heard on 9/18/25 to comply by 1/16/26. One section not complied at $50. The city is requesting to vacate the previous order from 9/18/2025.
Building Inspector Andrew Gebbia, presenting this case on the behalf of Severian UNESCO, presenting case and address as read. The required inspections were not completed and this permit was left to expire. The city is requesting 35 days to come into compliance or a $500 a day thereafter. I will let the respondent speak.
Okay. Once again, you need to state your name for the record. This is a different case number.
Richard Gaston.
Okay, sir. All right, so,
It's the same situation.
Same situation, so we'll do the 35 days.
I'm meeting with the new buyer
Okay.
down at the building department, and we're going to open up, I'm going to pay for a new permit. They sent a notice for me to get another inspection, but they sent it to the plumber.
Okay.
So I didn't know it.
Yeah.
And I never found out about it, and that's why they...
Okay, so you have 35 days to...
No problem.
Yes.
They'll be done long before then.
Okay.
But
Thank you
again,
for
sir,
your cooperation.
just so you're aware, the corporate entity is not going to be able to obtain any permits until it's a valid legal entity in the state of
corporate
Florida.
doesn't have to get a permit.
The new buyer will?
The new buyer is getting the permit.
Okay, then
Yes.
it'll have to be a transfer, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you
Okay.
very much, sir,
Thank
for
you.
your cooperation.
Our next case is a hearing to impose fines on page 23. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 3041 Northeast 49th Street, owner BPL LLC, case number BE 24080060. This case was first heard on 3/20/25 to comply by 7/17/25. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $9,000, which continues to accrue.
Good morning. Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case is not complied. I will let the respondent to speak.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Hi, my name is Miguel Bello, representing BPL.
Okay. This has been going on for a little while here. Why isn't the property in compliance yet?
We submitted the permits and it was submitted not complete in a complete way to cure the violation. So we resubmitted the plans again, and we're waiting for the city to go through the process of the revision. And once that is either approved or, require comments, then we will proceed to address the comments and pull the permit. I spoke to Inspector Saragusti, and I only need extra time to complete the process.
Okay. And,
The city will support 63 days
okay.
extension.
All right, 63 days, and I'll suspend the fines during that time.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Our next case is on page 20. Senior Inspector Alexander Boris, property address 3645 Southwest 22nd Street, owner 3645 Southwest 22nd Street, LANF Trust, Benjamin Johnson trustee, case number BE 24060092. This case was first heard on 10/17/24 to comply by 12/19/24. Fine suspended as noted. One section complied at $50. Total accrued fines $5,900. City is requesting to reduce the administrative cost of $1,211.
Alexandra Boris, Building Inspector for the city, updating you on case number and address as read. This case is complied as stated in today's agenda. The council representing the owner is here to speak.
Please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Jared Gassman.
Good morning. Is your client in agreement for the reduction to administrative costs?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for your cooperation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye then.
All right.
Our next case is on page 22. Senior Inspector Jose Salgusti, property address 1680 Southwest 32nd Court, owner Magali Schreiber, case number BE 24080245. This case was first heard on 5/15/25 to comply by 7/17/25. One section complied at $50. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $4,400.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case is in compliance. I will let the respondent to speak.
Please state
Good
your
morning.
name for the record.
Tony Schreiber.
Okay, how come it takes so long to get the property into compliance?
I started to build the permit immediately after we were notified, but I would say probably due to my inexperience in uploading the documents or getting relevant documentation required, it did take a long time.
Okay, all right. What are city costs in this?
The city is requesting administrative fees of $900.
Okay. All right, so I will reduce the fine from $4,400 to a cost of $900.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 18. City Inspector Leonardo Martinez. Property address 849 Southwest 21st Terrace. Owner EnviroCycle Inc. in care of Republic Services Prop Tax. Case number BE 231-00196. This case was first heard on 5/23/24 to comply by 11/19/24. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $15,000, which continues to accrue.
Good morning, Your Honor. Chief Martinez representing the city. Case analysis as read. The case is not in compliance. I'm going to allow the respondent to speak.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
My name is Bernard Allen. I'm with the Gunster Yoakley firm.
Welcome.
I'm also here with Darren Maddox, representative of the company as well.
Okay, what happened? Why is it taking so long?
We've been involved in trying to resolve this for almost 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Within the last 6 months, while we were attempting to resolve this, out of nowhere, the city took the position that we needed a restroom installed. None of this was in the permit. None of this was ever expected. And that issue finally got resolved in August of this year with William Kramer, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, who said, yeah, no, the city was wrong. We don't need to have this bathroom built. We then went ahead and started to finalize the remaining work that needed to be done, and the permit expired in September. And what happened after that is we said, all right, they told us we had to renew the permit. We went to renew the permit on September 26th of this year, and we were advised that we cannot renew the permit until this hearing is heard.
Okay.
And I discussed this with Mr. Martinez. He said, I'm absolutely wrong, and I'm going to have the gentleman who had the conversations with the city tell you exactly what happened.
Okay. Please state your name for the record again.
It's Darren Maddox.
Okay. Tell me what your recollection is.
Similar to what Bernie just mentioned, we've tried to be good partners all the way through. We had the unfortunate experience with a contract that we had to terminate. So we did that in January of this year. We were nearly done with the project at that point. And in trying to bring about final resolution to the project, we've been asked to apply for additional mechanical, electrical, plumbing permits that only to find out later were not necessary. No inspection was done on those.
Okay, I'm a little confused. I thought we were on a 25-year inspection case.
We are.
Okay, that's what it is. Okay. It's a 25-year building recertification case. The city won a proposal for them to install a new bathroom. That's the city. What the city received a report stating that repairs are required or no repairs required. On this case, repairs were required. Mm-hmm. They already obtained 2 extensions from us. Mm-hmm. The engineer of record provided us a letter. We granted 180 days. It's been 2 extensions. we don't know how we got to here. You know, they could have, if they had an issue permit, they could have provided a letter stating that they need more time, okay? And we would have granted, like we did the past 2 extensions, okay? So at this,
So what we're waiting for then is the report from the engineer.
a revised report stating that no repairs are required.
Okay.
So that's something I've not heard before. We have applied in the last 3 weeks for the structural engineer of record for the project to again ask for an extension. We have to get the plans out of plan check. These are the same plans we've been trying to get approved since March of this year. With repeated
okay, you
delay.
understand your permit issues are separate from the 25-year inspection.
This is an amendment to the existing building permit that contains the 25-year work.
Okay, all right. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is to give you 35 days to get that report in, okay? And I'll suspend the fines.
Your Honor, as you know, unfortunately, with the mandate with the Board of Rules and Appeals,
we've already had the 180 days.
We have.
Okay, all right.
I just want to state, Your Honor, that this case, we advised them that this report needs to be provided to the city on 2023. We gave them the first notification that they had to provide us with the report. So.
All right, so.
There's only 5 days of work left to be done.
Okay.
If we could just get the
All right,
permit renewed.
Okay, but I don't have the authority to give you authorization for the permit.
Who does?
Well, if the permit department is saying that this hearing, this needs to be heard before you can get your permit, it's because you need to submit the engineering report.
Well, Your Honor, I mean, counsel is saying that, which is complete hearsay. We've not heard anything. I've never heard of such a thing in my 28 years of.
The gentleman had conversations with your city.
Excuse me, sir. You got your chance to speak about all this stuff all over the place with the court reporter who can't take us both down, as you know. So, and now it's my turn, respectfully. So, number one, 40 years are electrical and structural. Has nothing to do with mechanical, has nothing to do with plumbing. That is completely irrelevant for this violation. The engineer of record that is shepherding this 40-year project should know that. Council may not know that, and this gentleman may not know that, but certainly the design professionals should absolutely know that. Additionally, without having a name and just saying that the city would somehow say that in order a permit cannot be issued until there's a hearing, and this is a Massey hearing to impose fines, makes absolutely no sense. It makes no sense, and I'd love to know the name of the person who said that, so I would love to adjourn it, bring that person here so they can testify that they did say that or didn't say that, because again, my 28 years of regulatory experience, no one would ever say that. The two don't go together. This is a hearing to impose fines. The imposition of a fine is not going to somehow trigger a release for a permit to be issued. Makes zero sense.
So I would just use the example that this request for a permit extension went in on October 26th. I think it was formally September 26th, I'm sorry, and formally was accepted into the system on October 2nd. Wasn't accepted to be reviewed until Tuesday of this week.
Okay.
That's how long that process has taken.
That's
who did
13
you have this
days, but okay.
conversation with?
I did not. The architect had it and wrote this to us and let us know this. And it was generally, we had all been calling to ask what's happening with this permit. And
The bottom line is
Okay,
we want to
well,
get
we want to be done.
Somewhere, I'm speaking. Do not speak while I speak. Somewhere along the line, you were misunderstood or was misinformed that these two cases are related, all right? And in light of the fact that you've already had your 180-day extension on this matter, I am not permitted to grant any more extensions. And as a result of that, the fines will continue to accrue. And then you will have to come back at a later date and for a Massey hearing, for another Massey hearing.
This is the Massey hearing.
Can I say something? Can I say something? We've been attempting since the very beginning of this process to get this resolved. We have not sat on our hands. I have a list.
Counselor, everything you're telling me has nothing to do with the case in front of me, okay?
Sure it does. I have a timeline of all the permits and all the work that we've attempted to do.
This has nothing to do with the permits. If someone told you it did, they were mistaken or you are mistaken. But I am going to impose the fines, and then you will be welcome to apply for the amnesty program when in fact the property is in compliance.
May I? This is the last thing. The reason that the permits are valid in this hearing is because I cannot do the required structural work and get it inspected until the amendment comes out, which isn't going to be seen until after they renew the permit. So nothing to do with, it's all tied together, the 25-year, I can't do it.
Inspector, would you tell him how that, would you address
Okay,
that issue?
this is a very, I don't know what is the confusion in this case when your engineer of record provide us with an extension request letter and we grant it.
That was done in the original.
I know what it was
done.
I know what it was
24.
done. Okay, all this about permitting and I mean, the only if you allow the permit to expire, I don't know how that happened. That's on your engineer of record or the contractor. This is a simple case. What you need to provide us is with a revised report that no repairs are required. That's simple. On the electrical permit, on the electrical part of the report, and on the structural part of the report. Okay? So I don't know what is the confusion when you was able to request another extension and we grant it. And we're just waiting for the revised report stating that no repairs are required.
And we want to do that. We want to comply with that. But what you're asking me to do is to do unpermitted work on behalf of the structural engineer.
No, we're not asking you to do it. We're not asking you to complete the work. That's not what corrects the violation. The engineer's report corrects the violation.
And I can't get the engineer's
I
can't get the engineer's report until I have the permit to do the work he's required, and it's additional work.
But that's on you. That's not in the city. What
because an issue came up whereby they wanted us to install a bathroom.
But was the bathroom part of the report, initial report from the engineer of record?
No, but it was included on the plan.
No, the city doesn't require things like that.
No.
I'm sorry.
Do you think I'm making this up?
Mr.
Noel Zamora is the one who had that.
Regardless of the fact that there was a mix-up of the bathrooms and you may have been misinformed about the permit, what you need to do now is to get your engineer to give a report to the city that says what?
No repairs are required.
But they still need the repairs. They still have repairs. They have to finish the repairs. They have to get the permit, renew the permit that they allowed to expire to complete the structural electrical permits, and then the engineer has to provide the final report. Once there's an active permit, as has already been done twice in the past, then the engineer can come to the city and say, we have an active permit now, and they can grant you the 180 days.
Okay. Would you agree that until that permit is renewed, I can't do that work?
Correct, of course. No one is suggesting otherwise.
And I understand that you don't believe what we're saying, but we were advised that we can't do the work, we can't get that permit renewed until this hearing is
No, you weren't. You were not.
Okay, so we were not advised of that.
You were not.
Okay, so then we should have no problem this week getting that permit renewed, correct?
If it's in order, I mean, it has to, you have to meet all of the requirements of the building code and the city. You have to pay your fee, you have to have the engineer, the contract. I mean, it's got to be in order. Of course it does. And it's not funny, sir. It's not funny.
Oh, I'm not laughing at all.
Yes, you were. And it's not funny that you all are inept and unable to complete a 40-year or 25-year recertification in 2 years.
It's not that we're not trying to complete it. We've been trying to complete it for the last year and a
How
half.
many emails do you have that you can prove that you've been in contact with us? How many emails have you sent? Do you have a copy of
Why
your-
are you being so confrontational, sir? I don't
I'm
understand.
just asking you.
I'm trying to get
Okay,
this
all right,
resolved.
enough, okay? The fines are gonna continue to run. You need to go back and get your permit, and then when this is done, you will be able to apply for amnesty for whatever fines have accrued. And at that time, I think the amnesty is 10% of what's owed. So that seems to be your best bet as to how to proceed.
And who can I speak to if I have a problem getting the permit renewed?
You can contact me. I'm gonna give you my card.
Yeah, and then he'll
Okay.
have a conversation with whoever's telling you that, okay? And that's the only way I can handle that for today, all right? So somehow I think you were misinformed. I'm sorry about that, but I don't have any other, leeway because I don't issue the permits, so.
It's funny in that I was
Someone
also...
telling you that I could give you the authority to get the permit, wrong. It's not within the authority given to me by the city commission. You understand?
Or the statutes.
And Florida
Mr. Martinez, as I said before, I want to resolve this.
And I'm gonna help you. I'm willing to help you. Let's stand outside of the hearing, and then I'm gonna explain to you. I'm gonna give you my card, and when you're ready, you can contact me, and I will help you.
Let's do it right now.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, next case, please.
Case is on page 5. It's a new business case. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 1148 Alabama Ave. Case number BE 25050088. Owner, Amr Gilid. Notice posted at the property on 7/15/25. Posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presented the case as read. This property has been cited under Florida Building Code 2023, Section 111.1 for assisted living facility without certificate of occupancy. The case was opened on May 14, 2025. Inspection report was mailed on May 29, 2025. Notice of hearing was mailed on July 8, 2025. I have been in contact with the property owner at the time of the inspection, and we are asking the magistrate to find the violation exists and grant the property owner 126 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. I will let the respondent to speak.
Okay.
Oh,
Please state your name.
my name's Arma Galid.
Okay, are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance by getting the certificate within the next 126 days?
Yes, ma'am. We already got the permits in, and we're just waiting for them to be approved.
Perfect, thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 24. Senior Inspector Preston Mark, property address 1040 Long Island Ave. Owner, Highland Properties, LLC. Case number BE 24040209. This case was first heard on 2/20/25. 2 complied by 6/19/25. 1 section complied at $50. Total accrued fines $2,300. City is requesting to reduce to administrative cost of $1,084.
Good morning. Preston Mark, Building Inspector, presenting case and address as read. The case has complied. The city is requesting to impose administrative fees of $1,084. The respondent is here to speak.
Please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Charles Fernandez.
Okay, are you in agreement to the reduction of fines to administrative costs?
I do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 21. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 701 Southwest 12th Ave. Owner, Gabriel Palladino. Case number BE 24120134. This case was first heard on 3/20/25 to comply by 7/17/25. One section not complied is $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $9,000, which continues to accrue.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case is not in compliance. I will let the respondent to speak. Go ahead.
Please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Richard Rosa, attorney for the owner.
Okay, why is this property not in compliance yet?
So there was a history to this property where initially, when the permits were submitted, they were mainly submitted as walkthrough permits. They were approved and then voided. Reason being, there was a certificate of appropriateness that was needed from HPB for the historical preservation. That, in essence, voided everything. So that administrative factor kicked in. Since then, the applicant has applied. The first date available was October 8th to do so after the issuance of the certificate of appropriateness, and they replied on that literal day.
Okay.
So right now they're pending, and I'm hopeful that we've met all the corrective actions at this point in order to request an extension and also to suspend the fines, given that the corrective action is now in the hands of the city to review the permits that have been submitted.
Okay.
The city will support 63-day extension and stop the fine and the order to reappear.
Okay. All right, 63 days and an order to reappear. You good with that?
Appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 13. Inspector Andrew Gebbia. One second. Property address 801 Coconut Drive. Owner A.J. Anderson Jr. and Ellen Bowler Anderson. Case number BE 25040004. Notice posted at the property on 6/24/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Good morning. Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under FPC 2023-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to: a dock extension, 2 shade structures, and a new section of fence. This case was opened on 4/1/2025. The inspection report was mailed on 4/9/2025. The special magistrate was scheduled on 5/22/25. I first arrived at this property on 4/1/2025. I could not see any activity from the front of the house. On 4/3/2025, Code Officer Gustavo Caracas conducted a waterway inspection by boat and took photos of the work in progress on the dock. I again visited this property again on 4/9/2025. I left a courtesy note on the door. I used the photos from Code Officer Caracas's photos for the work being done on the dock. There are shade structures and a new fence as well. None of these things were permitted. I then spoke with the GC performing the work, Ali Reza Razai. He stated that they have removed the shade structures and the fence, and he has submitted an application for the dock. That permit is in need of more information. The city is requesting the special magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 126 days to come into compliance or a $50 a day fine thereafter. I will let the respondent speak.
Please
Good
state
morning.
your name for the
Good
record.
morning, Magistrate. Sydney Satz, attorney on behalf of the property owners.
Good morning.
Good morning. We are in agreement with the city's extension at this point. We think that that should be sufficient to address. There are some additional comments that need to be addressed on the permits.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Our next case is on page 18. Chief Martinez. Property address 340 Southwest 24th Street. Owner WPA Investors in care of Walgreen Co.
I think you're going to have to call another case.
Oh, he's not there? Okay.
Sorry, we're going to have to recall you.
Sorry, Chief's not available. Moving on to page 25. Senior Inspector Preston Mark. Property address 1508 Northeast 17th Way. Owner Tanya Labriola. Case number BE 2408-0029. This case was first heard on 2/20/25 to comply by 6/19/25. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $5,900, which continues to accrue.
Preston Mark, Bill Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This case is not in compliance. The city is requesting to impose the fines. The respondent is here to speak.
Please state your name for the record.
Tanya Labriola.
Okay, why is it taking so long to get these permits in order?
I literally pay my contractor, and he says he's on top of it, and it's just one delay after another with the architect and the engineer. And he did tell me that the roofer did put notes on, I think it's the roofing one that's not correct right now, yesterday. And then he's waiting for the, comments back, I guess. He said he just would like me to ask for an extension of 90 days with no fines, just to finalize everything.
Your Honor, I can confirm this. The driveway permit has been issued. However, the roofing permit is still pending. The city will support an extension of 91 days and state of fines.
Okay, granted.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Moving on to page 4, Inspector Linda Holloway. Property address 3767 Southwest 17th Street. Owner Ryan Keith Oilette. Case number BE 25040153. Notice posted at the property on 7/25/25. Notice posted at 1 East Rock Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Inspector Linda Holloway, presenting case BE 25040153. Presenting case number and property address is read. This property was cited on April 22nd, 2005, and the following violations were observed as depicted on the photos. 9-1B. Any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of but not limited to a fence erected without first obtaining a permit. On April 23rd, an inspection report was mailed to the owner on BCPA. July 16, 2025, the permit application BLD GEN 2507031 was submitted online. I've been in contact with the owner, Ryan, via the telephone. The permit is currently moving through the system, and the city is requesting 119 days or $50 per day thereafter.
Please state your name for the record.
Ryan Olette.
Okay. Are you in agreement to get the permit within the 119 days?
That'll work.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on our next two cases on page 27, Senior Inspector Preston Mark, property address 2624 Sugarloaf Lane. Owner Vincent Valdeperes. Case number BE 24040103. Notice this case was first heard on 2/20/25, to comply by 6/19/25. One section complied at $50. The city is requesting to impose administrative costs of $1,130.
Preston Mark, Bill Inspector of the city, presenting case and address as read. This case has complied. The city is requesting to impose admin fees of $1,130. The respondent is here to speak.
Please state your name for the record.
Vincent Valdeperes, and thank you for not butchering the name.
Okay. And are you in agreement to the reduction of fines to the administrative costs?
I was hoping to reduce those costs if possible. As you
And
can
why?
imagine, this has been a very expensive and long ordeal, so.
Well, that's what happens when you alter things without a permit.
I bought the house like that. So it's
Yeah.
like one of those situations. My mistake for not asking.
Okay, all right. So this preceded your ownership of the property?
Yeah.
Okay. It is city costs. And nothing was held out in the closing for the,
No.
okay, all right. All right, I will reduce it to $900. That's
Thank you very much.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case, also on page 27, property address 3131 Southwest 20th Street, case number BE 24070140. Owner, Magdaleno Ulloa and Karina Greter and David Rodell Maceda. This case was first heard on 2/20/25 to comply by 6/19/25. One section not complied at $50. The city is requested to impose the full amount of $5,900, which continues to accrue.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This case is not in compliance. The city is requesting to impose the fines.
Please state your name for the record.
Natalie Triana.
Okay, why is it taking so long to get a permit?
So we acquired this property back in June. The seller did not mention by any chance that there was a violation. We found out once Inspector Preston put a paper on the door, and ever since we have been working with engineers and architects to try to solution this.
But why hasn't the permit been submitted?
Sorry, permits are in process, Your
Oh,
Honor.
okay, all right. Okay, and how much time do you think you need to complete the process?
The longer that you guys can take us, give it to us. They already have created some of the designs and things to submit, but they need more time because they're rushing through it.
The city will support 91 days extension.
Okay, 91 days, and we'll suspend the fines during that time.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Tasha, you want to recall that?
Yes. Going back to page 18, Chief Martinez, property address 340 Southwest 24th Street, owner WPA Investors in care of Walgreen Co., case number BE 24070398. This case was first heard on 3/20/25 to comply by 5/1/25. One section complied at $100. Total accrued fine, $6,000. City is requesting to reduce to administrative costs of $1,275.
Good morning, Your Honor. Chief Martinez representing the city. Case analysis as read. The case is compliant. I'm going to allow the respondent to speak.
Please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. David Williams.
Okay. It looks like the city's in agreement to reduce to admin costs. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes.
Yes,
Good
okay.
morning.
All right, so I'm opposed admin costs of $1,275.
Thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
Our next case is on page 26, Senior Inspector Preston Mark, property address 1713 Northwest 13th Court, owner Mortgage Assets Management Series 1 Trust, in care of PHH Mortgage and all others reversed. Case number BE 24090064. This case was first heard on 1/16/25 to comply by 4/17/25. Fine suspended as noted. Two sections not complied at $50. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $9,000, which continues to accrue.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This case is not in compliance. The city is requesting to impose fines.
Good morning, David Kramer on behalf of Mortgage Asset Management.
Okay, and why is this taking so long?
We have our structural engineer inspection on 10/24. We're asking for a little bit more time. I think that report, once the inspection occurs on 10/24, should take about a week, and then we should be ready to fix up the property pursuant to that report.
Okay, anything else from the city?
This case has been going on for quite a while. This involved an issue with an individual who was residing at the property that was going through some difficulties with a reverse mortgage issue. The property was then transferred to the bank, I believe.
Yes, in July.
Okay. I don't support an extension. I would impose the fines, and on a later date, they can apply for lien amnesty.
Okay, I'm in agreement with that. Yeah, it's been since, well, it was first heard January of this year, but it's been open for how long? Pardon? Okay.
Yes, about a year.
All right, the fines will continue to accrue, but then you'll have the amnesty process to go through, and you know, that'll reduce it probably to 10%.
And once they get the permits, we will
Yeah.
comply the case.
Yes,
since the
that's
bank-
all you have to do is get the permits, and the case will be complied.
Okay, since the bank just took possession around July of 2025, is it possible for another 30 days?
I've made my ruling, unless the city is in agreement with that, I'm not gonna change it. No. Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 19. Senior Inspector Alexander Boris, property address 105 North Federal Highway, owner JCHS 105 Property LLC, case number BE 241-00193. This case was first heard on 3/20/25 to comply by 5/15/25. Fine suspended as noted, one section not complied at $50. Total accrued fine, the city is requested to impose the full amount of $5,900, which continues to accrue.
Which one are we on, the second one? Thank you.
Is that responded here? 105 North Federal Highway? Oh.
Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, updating you on case number and address as read. This property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code 2023, Section 111.1.1, use and occupancy. Because of the required certificate of occupancy is not yet issued, and the building is occupied. The council is here to speak on behalf of the owner.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Hope Calhoun, on behalf of the property owner. So a few things have been going on. We do have a temporary certificate of occupancy. We don't have our certificate of occupancy because the property owner needs to do some off-site improvements. They just got
What do you mean off-site improvements?
some right-of-way improvements. They need to fix the sidewalk and remove a parking space they installed, which they shouldn't have. So they're in the process of getting the permits to do that. Once they do that exterior right-of-way work, then they can apply for their certificate of occupancy. So they are in the process. They've come a long way.
Okay,
since
and
this
how much
first
time
started.
are you requesting?
60 days.
Pardon me?
60 days.
Any objection to 63 days?
At this time, the city does not support any additional extension, only because
It's been going on for a while.
Yeah, it's been going on for quite a while. There are two permits. The temporary CO was for the previous permit. That one it's not finished yet. We're citing for a change of use permit. We don't have anything on that one, and both permits at this time they're expired. For that reason, the city does not support any extension.
So before you rule, because it's a little complicated, this is, again, has been going on for quite some time. Without going through the whole history, they did change the use in the building. They thought they had the proper approval. They couldn't get what they needed because of this exterior work, this right-of-way work that they needed to do. They just started to understand that. I just got involved within the last few months. They didn't know what they needed to do to get it fixed. They have, since the last few months recently, have been really working diligently to get things done. And as I said, they now have a temporary CO where they didn't have one before. They are now working on the exterior, the right-of-way improvements where they weren't working on them before. The thing holding up the off-site improvements now is they're waiting for their bond to be approved and their MOT, their approval to work in the right-of-way. So it's not that they're not doing it. They are. Right now, everything's
What is the significance of a temporary CO with regard to the
People are
violation? Any?
The temporary CO is not for this particular use.
It is, actually.
It's for the original permit. I have the record here. The temporary CO, which is the 8th temporary CO, It's for permit record PM 141-00297, which is expired. This case is for change of use permit BLD-CU-24050793. We don't have a temporary CO for this particular change of use permit that I'm aware.
Okay.
We're operating with a TCO, is all I can tell you. It's a school, and it's operating with a TCO.
All right, I'm going to impose the fines. They need to get moving on that work right away, okay? All right, thank you.
All right, what's the daily fine going to be?
Pardon me?
What's the daily fine going to be?
The daily fines are $50 a day.
50?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case, Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti on page 28, property address 1661 Southwest 32nd Court, owner Sebastian Barrett, case number BE 24070086. This case was first heard on 1/16/25 to comply by 4/17/25. One section not complied at $50. Suspensions are noted.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case is not complied. I will let the respondent to speak.
Hi, Sebastian Barrett.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's the problem? Why is this taking so long?
Been dealing with quite a lot. I said before, the work was done prior to me purchasing the property. I'm kind of figuring out how everything goes. On the last hearing, I was finally able to get a permit runner, and she started doing the work, had the architectural drawings done. I paid for that. I think it got submitted to the building department. Recently, however, been trying to get in touch with her. I got in touch with her like after probably 1,000 calls about a week and a half ago, and she kind of let me know, unfortunately, that I guess she had like a death in the family, and kind of hasn't been doing anything.
But this work was done before you purchased the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I did speak with Mr. Saragusti prior, and kind of let him know what's going on. We are making those efforts. He did let me know that the city is actually waiting on me to respond. Had no idea about that, unfortunately. So I'm going to call them today after we leave here, and I think we're agreeing to a 63-day extension. Hopefully this is the only thing I have to do is respond to them and get that fixed. But I did already get the drawings submitted and the architecture to do everything.
Okay. Anything else from the city?
The city is requesting, the city doesn't oppose 63 days extension and stop the fines.
All right. 63 days, and we'll suspend the fines during that time. Please try to wrap it up.
Please, order them to reappear also.
Oh, in order to reappear. Of course, when you get the permit and the case is ready for compliance, make sure you contact the inspector, because then you wouldn't have to come back.
Okay. Thank you. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
All right. Thank you.
Our next case, Senior Inspector Alexander Borges on page 19, property address 1804, 1804, nope, that's not on page, yes it is. 1804 Southwest 20th Street, 1-2, owner Sage Community LLC, case number BE 24080024. This case was first heard on 2/20/25 to comply by 6/19/25. One section not complied at $50. City is requested to impose the full amount of $5,900, which continues to accrue.
Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, updating you on case number and address as read. Case is not complied. Respondent is here to speak.
Good morning, Jessica Detlani.
Okay. Why is the property still not complied?
I have submitted several permits that I have complied. I have only one more electrical permit submitted and pending approval. The work it's some work that was done already, and I need to upgrade the electrical panel. and that is still in the city for approval, so I can get that work finalized.
Okay, how much time do you think you need?
30 days to get the permit.
Okay. Any objection from the city, 35 days?
No objections.
All right, 35 days, and I'll suspend the fines during that time.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Our next case is on page 26, Senior Inspector Preston Mark, property address 2021 Southwest 38th Ave, owner Robert Flowers, Robert Flowers Revocable Livable Trust, case number BE 24070176. This case was first heard on 2/2025, to comply by 6/1925. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $6,200, which continues to accrue.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector, presenting case and address as read. This case is not in compliance. I would allow the respondent to speak.
Please state your name for the record.
Robert Flowers.
Good morning, Mr. Flowers.
Morning.
Why is this taking so long?
It's not the fact that it's taking so long. Is I took a big shed down that was in the back, and that was huge. And I went for a variance. That took some time. I was in a meeting for that last week. Got denied, which I want to appeal or figure something out. But I'm moving right along. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I had to get a survey done in my house, and I had to pay to have that building removed, and I had to pay $1,000 to try to get a variance for something else. But anyway, I'm moving. I'm cranking along.
The variance was for which structure?
I'm sorry? No.
The carport structure.
The carport structure. So
Yeah.
that was denied. So you have to remove the carport.
No, the carport has nothing to do with. It was the poles where 4 poles. They're a little too close to the property line. I'm by about a foot and a half. So I might appeal it. I might just move them back and then go from there. I spoke with Preston about it this morning. So give me some options, and plus I'm going to see Bert Ford next week. But I wanted to bring up 2 things. Is I'd like to have the fines removed from my house because I didn't get a chance to get in here fast enough.
I will not discuss removing or lowering the fines until the property is in compliance.
I'm going to get it in compliance. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm working on this good. President will tell you I'm working on it.
Okay.
So I'm in touch with Karen. I'm in touch with the city every day. What I wanted to ask is I need 120 days to keep pushing forward. The president said he didn't mind.
There were two options that was presented to Mr. Flowers. He indicated that he may be looking into appealing the Board of Adjusters ruling. If he is going to pursue this, we would allow maybe a 63-day extension. However, if he's not, and he has to permit this structure, he would probably need about 126 days to get permits and to move forward. But we would have the fines continue to accrue.
And have the fines what?
Continue to accrue.
If he does not accept the options.
Okay. So he needs to accept one of the 2 options?
So the question is,
Well, we had 3 because we had I was going to maybe go and try to go in and
appeal,
or I have a couple other choices as well. I can also ask to go in front of the council again,
the Board of Adjusters,
and that's not an appeal. That's to show them different evidence that I didn't present properly. Remember we talked about that?
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
But there's 2 different categories. One to appeal, then there's another category to go in and say, hey, I gave some wrong information that I wasn't aware of. I presented it wrong, and I can go in and do that as well. So I got to make a decision what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to move the post in, but I'm going to make a decision in the next couple of days. But I'm definitely moving forward. I need the 120 days would be great, and I don't want to be fined anymore because I'm moving forward.
63 days and an order to reappear. I don't want this sitting around for any longer, okay? You got to make a decision. You got to move forward with this. So 63 days, come back in 63 days, which would be my December 18th docket, and let me know what you've decided and if the work is underway or done. If you comply the case, if you go ahead and move the polls and you call him and he complies the case, you don't have to come back, okay?
Right?
All right, thank
All right.
you.
I'm going to probably see you, though, because it's going to be longer than that. But thank you.
All right.
Our next case, a new business case on, okay, we're not going to do that one. Our next case is on page 3, Senior Inspector Mary Rich, property address 2926 Cortez Street, owner 2933 Poinsettia Street, LLC. Case number BE 25030210. Notice posted at the property on 9/19/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard on 10/2/25. Oh, okay. Right.
Good morning. Senior Inspector Rich with the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case and address are as read. The case was originally cited on March 21st, 2025. The violation is any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits consistent of but not limited to a chain link fence. Inspection report was mailed on March 24, 2025 to the owner listed in BCPA. As of pre-hearing inspection on October 15, 2025, the permit has not been issued yet. I'll let the respondent speak.
Please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Richard
Good
Hastier.
Good morning. Let's see, have you submitted the permit yet?
I have submitted the permit application, and I'll be perfectly honest with you, I dropped the ball.
Okay.
I got comments from the city that there were multiple folio numbers for this property. It's one piece of property,
All right.
one fence. There will be another case right after this one for
Okay,
the
how
same
much
for the
time
same
do you
reason.
think you need to bring the
I'll have
property?
that. I'll have the second application submitted on Monday,
Okay,
so I can be complied as soon as the permits are issued.
all right.
The city was requesting 126 days or $50 per day thereafter.
Are you in agreement with that?
More than, yes.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank
All right,
you.
now it seems to be another case. for
Sure.
this-
Property address 2933 Poinsettia Street, owner 2933 Poinsettia Street, LLC. Case number BE 25030209. Notice posted at the property on 6/26/25. Posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Senior Inspector Rich with the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case and address are as read. The violation is the same, 9-1D.
Is this for the different folio number?
Yes, a separate
Okay.
folio.
All
Same
right.
thing.
So, state your name again for the record.
Richard Hastier.
Okay, we'll do the 126 days or $50 a day thereafter for that one as well.
Very good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Page 6 is Senior Inspector Preston Mark, property address 1516 North Dixie Highway, owner 1516 North Dixie Highway, LLC. Case number BE 24090081. Notice posted at the property on 6/24/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broward Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for a violation under Florida Building Code 2023-111.1.1. The use and occupancy of this dwelling has been changed from originally permitted as a duplex to a multifamily dwelling unit without obtaining the required permits and a certificate of occupancy from the building department. The case was opened 9/11/2024. Special report, inspection report mailed 9/12/2024, and special magistrate notice mailed 5/16/2025. I visited this property but was unable to get access. However, during our investigation, we obtained evidence that the property was illegally converted from a duplex to a fourplex without obtaining the required permits and certificate of occupancy. I recently spoke with the owner, Mateo, who indicated that he's in the process of researching whether or not this property can be converted to a fourplex, and has spoken with the zoning department for consideration. He indicated that he's also hired an attorney to represent him on this case. The respondent is here to speak.
Okay, please state your name.
Matteo Gangali.
Okay. And what is it you want to tell me about this property and obtaining the permits?
I'm actually here to speak on his behalf.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, having done the property research, Mateo purchased the property in...
You need to just state your name, please.
Oh, my name's Deborah Sotek, S-O-T-T-E-K. So I'm here to speak on his behalf because I'm a lot more familiar with the process. He purchased the property in April of 2024. The units were existing at the time he purchased the property. He actually applied for building permits to improve the electrical on the property for all 4 units in August of 2024. And the permits were actually finalized in February of 2025 for the 4 units. During this period of time, between the time of purchase of the property to 2025, Mateo was not aware of any issues with the non-conforming use of the property. All of the records in our research show that the city has continually acknowledged, at least in issuing building licenses, that it was a 4-unit or 3-unit property. Mateo purchased a business license for the property. He lived in the unit, so he applied as 3 rental units, and it was issued and approved. Back in 2014, there were windows installed in the property, of course, prior to his ownership, 26 windows and 8 impact doors. The property appraiser's office indicates it's a 4-unit property. The appraisal that was done on the property indicates it's a 4-unit property. So everything in the records that we could see indicated it was a 4-unit property and would never have known it was not anything other than approved by the city to be a 4-unit property. Understanding, looking at the records, that we didn't see that there is any C of O or anything in the city records showing that it was converted officially to a 4-unit property, Mateo's happy to do that and get all the permits, make sure that everything is in compliance. And I think one of the things that's really been upsetting, which is why I'm speaking, because he's Italian and can get very emotional, and Preston knows that, is that he purchased this property. The bank believes it's a 4-unit property. Everything about the property presents itself as a 4-unit property. It's located in a neighborhood that's consistent with the type of use that he has, 5 and 4-unit properties. And at some point, the zoning changed. So based on the records that I could find, it looks like there was an approved addition at the back of the property in 1966. The property was built in 1959. So at some time, it appears that around in the 60s or 70s is when this property was converted to be 4 units. So it's been a long time that it's been used as a 4-unit property. So what he's looking for is to go through some city process to make it a legal non-conforming property. It's not changed any building envelope. It's consistently had the same parking. I'm not sure if there's I know that it does not meet the density of the current zoning, but if there's some process, I'm not familiar with, Fort Lauderdale's process. I know that you can go through a zoning process for a conditional use permit. This is in California, that's where I'm from, where you can allow for a non-conforming legal use, just given the fact that the city approved legal permits for 4 units, and he should have been stopped from even applying for those permits for 4 independent units. So there's nothing about what Mateo was doing with the property other than trying to bring it into compliance, believing it was 4 units. I'm more than happy to bring it into compliance with the C of Os for each of those units to make it in compliance and for the health and the safety of anybody who's going to be living in the units. Right now, they're not occupied because he hasn't been comfortable renting them out because of this issue. So we're looking for guidance from the magistrate or the city staff on what we can do to make this a legal, non-complying property.
You want to chime in?
So, yeah, thank you, Your Honor. Ronald Montoya Hassan with the City Attorney's Office. Just a couple of things. First of all, BCPA is about taxes, right? It has nothing to do with the legal right of occupancy. So, yes, I do see that it says 4 units. They're taxing the property as 4 units. We often find errors with the property appraiser. So, property appraiser can't really rely on it. At the end of the day, it's the certificate of occupancy that controls. and, understanding that he did not create, the issue, you need to start with zoning.
Okay.
I'm happy to say, in my 28 years, I'm not unfortunately a zoning expert, I'm a building expert, but you need to, and I'm sure Preston can help you, get to the right folks. It really should be Bert Ford, who you should speak with. I would suggest starting out, you want to write down his name?
Yeah, thank you.
He's a very useful person, and he used to be a building inspector, so he understands both sides. But he is I always call him the zoning administrator, but he's not. He acts, he's like the second in command.
And what was his name again?
Bert Ford, B-U-R-T, Ford, F-O-R-D. And I think he can guide you as to the proper process to get them legalized. I'm not an expert in land use, so I don't want to give you the wrong advice. Certainly give you, time to do that and have those discussions, but I would definitely suggest reaching out to him. I can give you my card, and you can tell him
that would be great. I mean,
to reach out to him, and he'll help you.
Yeah, this was a huge financial investment of everything he had, and to find out that this, and we know it happens. I've been in planning and building, so that's why I'm here to speak on his behalf.
As she did mention, that's why, Preston, I want to apologize for our previous conversation. It is like I have a lot invested in it emotionally, like everything, so that's why I had to have her here, and thanks for hearing me out.
Yeah, and so in terms of this is for, I was gathering this was about fines, so are there fines being?
No, this is a new case.
No, this is a new case.
Oh, we're going to give you, the
Time.
magistrate will give you, based upon the city's recommendation, and put plenty of time to try to go through these issues.
What is the city's
The
recommendation?
city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and grant the property over the 126 days to come in compliance or fine of $50 a day thereafter.
Okay. So that should give you plenty of time
To work
sort
with
this
city
out and
staff
work with
to
the
figure out
city
what we
and
can-
figure it
okay.
out. But if you run into a problem, with the other departments or whatever, make sure you contact the inspector, because you can request an additional extension. And as long as people are being diligent, we try to work with you.
Okay, all right, we appreciate your time.
Okay.
Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, at this time, the city's taking a brief recess.
Okay.
Hold on, let me give you my card.
Thank you for your patience. You don't see him? Okay. Our next case is on page 26. Senior Inspector Preston Mark, property address 1800 Northwest 7th Ave. Owner Jeanette Wills. Case number BE 24030146. This case was first heard on 9/19/24. To comply by 12/19/24. Fine suspended is noted. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $10,500, which continues to accrue.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This case is not in compliance. The city is requesting to impose fines. The respondent is here to speak.
Please state your name for the record. Okay, and why?
Can you press the button? It's not on.
The red.
Okay. Jeanette Wills.
Okay, and why has this property not been brought into compliance yet? What's the status of the permits?
The permit is actually in place.
Pardon me?
The permits are in place, right?
They're in process.
Yes. I'd like to have some more days in order for it to be complete.
For what to be complete?
The permits.
I thought you said the permits have been issued?
No, not as yet, Your Honor. Mrs. Wells is in the process of applying for these permits as an owner builder. She's had some difficulties with the information that has been requested by the plan review. I would support some additional time because it's been very difficult for her to process this information.
Okay,
So
what do you suggest?
how much time would you like?
How much time do you think that would be fair for me to have in order for it to be in place?
Well, I think you already got some comments. She got some comments back, so I would say 91 days should be fine.
Okay, 91 days, and we'll suspend the fines during that period of time. But make sure if you run into a problem, you contact the inspector, because if you let those 91 days, you've already had $10,500 accrued in fines on the property.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I just got shocked. I didn't know that.
Okay, well, you know, I'm suspending the fines for now, but you have to get the property into compliance within those 91 days, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 28. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 2590 North Federal Highway. Owner Surfside Realty Group, LLC. Case number BE 25070132. This case was first heard on 9/18/25. To comply by 10/16/25. One section not complied at $100.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case, it has two violations. One of them is comply for expired permit, and the second one for inspection pending, still open. I will let the respondent to speak.
Please state your name for the record.
Daniel Sidges.
Okay, what's the status of the inspections?
Well, we're in process. We finally got our elevation certificate approved, which was holding up the construction. That went on for many months, and so we renewed the permit. We're in the middle of removing some damaged sheathing on the property to call in the roof sheathing inspection. We've called in our beam inspection and got a partial. We've received our elevations, our engineer's certificate, so we're going to recall that inspection for this week to close out the beam inspection. We have 5 inspections to call in 60, 90 days, to close it out.
Magistrate, can I speak for a minute? Tosh, I need to be sworn in. I was out the room when you were doing so.
Okay. Do you swear in the firm to tell the truth about today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you.
So, your Magistrate, this project has been
And can you
plagued
state
with
your name for the record, please?
Joe Pasquarello, Assistant Building Official. Just a little history here. This property's been plagued with delays I believe it's a permit from 2020, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 23, the owner delayed the project because of COVID, and then there was dewatering issues. Then there was a swim permit that expired that took 9 months to get it revalidated.
A what permit?
A swim permit, SWM.
Okay, that's a county permit.
County permit on the site, and then the issues with the elevation certificate went on for over 9 months or 10 months, back and forth with the engineers in the city. But yes, it's been plagued with issues.
Okay, so just wanted to share that. This is the old Skyline Chili building on the corner of 26th and
I'm familiar with it.
then we have gotten many complaints from the neighbors. It's a nice neighborhood that they've, that in that area, and so just keep that in mind as far as when we're granting extensions that, we're anxious to see this project get
All
completed.
right, so how about we'll do 63 days in an order to reappear? Is that okay?
If we've complied with the inspections,
Then you need to let the inspector know. Make sure you have his contact information, and if everything, and he can comply the case, then you won't have to come back.
okay, very
If
good.
not, I'll see you on my December 18th docket.
We won't see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case, Senior Inspector Preston Mark on page 7, property address 2831 East Commercial Boulevard, owner 1302 Northeast 32nd LLC, case number BE 25030251. Notice posted at the property on 6/24/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard, 10/2/25.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. There is expired permits related to this property in today's agenda. The case is not in compliance. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and grant the property owner 119 days to come in compliance or a fine of $100 a day thereafter.
Please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. A. Burgerdi.
Okay, are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance by renewing or closing out that permit within 119 days?
Yes.
Okay.
This is part of another permit that, if you remember, this is part of the other permit that we are updating that.
Okay.
So yeah, we will be able to take care of that for you.
All right, 119 days or $100 a day thereafter. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, it's getting a little loud in here. Can you all please lower your voices? If you have to have a conversation, please step outside in the hallway. Thank you. Our next case is on page 22, Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 2520 Laguna Terrace, owner Mirtha A. Camacho, homestead exempted Jennifer G. Camacho, case number BE 24050177. This case was first heard on 10/17/24. To comply by 1/16/25. Fine suspended as noted. One section complied at $50. The city is requesting to oppose the full amount of $11,050.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case is in compliance. I will let the respondent to speak.
Please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor Flynn. I actually had
You need to state your name for the record.
Mirtha Camacho.
Okay. And tell me why it took so long to bring the property into compliance.
Yes, this has been a learning experience for me. I hired contractors licensed and insured. They pulled permits, but they were limited burners, and they did never go for RAF, and I was not aware of it. I'm glad that Inspector Zorowski noticed, and I have done whatever the city needed to require in order to comply. He has shown me how to do it. Now I know, and luckily we completed.
All right.
The city is requesting administrative fees of $1,174.
1,100 and what?
74.
74. Okay, I will reduce the fines from $11,050 to $1,174 in city costs, okay?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Inspector.
Our next case is on page 18, Chief Martinez, property address 2098 Northwest 26th Ave, owner Grace Covenant Church of Fort Lauderdale, Inc., case number BE 24070135. Excuse me. This case was first heard on 1/16/25 to comply by 2/27/25. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $4,800, which continues to accrue.
Chief Martinez, representing the city, case and address as read. This is a building recertification case. Our case is not compliant. I'm going to allow the respondent to speak.
Okay, please state your name for the record, sir.
Good morning, Pastor Brian.
Okay. Pastor Brian, why isn't this property brought into compliance?
Judge, to be honest, lack of money. When this certification initially came up, we realized we did not have the money, so we put some property up for sale. Unfortunately, we ran into a first right of refusal that took 1 year to settle. We had to hire attorney Nate Green, you might know him, to handle that. We just went to closing on that property in June of this year, and we hired an electrical contractor, Custom Solutions. We hired Chase Roofing to do the structural work. We thought we could beat the time limit, but we couldn't. However, they're already working. On October 3rd, we received a preliminary electrical inspection, so that's moving along. The roofing should start after the 20th of this month because that's when the cranes are coming out to do some work.
We're just missing a report. Can you explain to
But
him?
let me ask you a question. Do you have an issue permit, active issue permit?
For the electrical, the roofing company has sent me, I have the note from them where they're working with the city on that permit.
Felicia, can you check if this address has any active permits? 2898 Northwest 26th Avenue, please. Yes.
Okay. Can you give us a minute to check the permit status before I rule? Okay.
Certainly.
All right, thank you.
Should I wait here?
Yeah, you can have a seat, and we'll call you up after the next hearing.
Our next case is on page 1. Inspector Wilson Quintero Jr., property address 902 Northwest 13th Ave, owner Eugene L. Harvey, homestead exempted, Nadej Bull. Case number BE 2503-0085. Notice posted at the property on 6/24/25. Notice posted at Waynesboro Boulevard, 10/2/25. Excuse me for the mispronunciation.
Oh, I have no problem. Get used to it. Good morning.
Good morning, Inspector Wilson Quintero Jr. presenting on behalf of previous Inspector Katie Williams, case and address as read. This case was first inspected by Inspector Williams on March 11, 2025, and the following violation was found. 9-1D, any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of but not limited to wood fence. Inspection report was mailed out on 3/11/2025. It was scheduled for special magistrate on May 21st, 2025. Pre-hearing inspection conducted on 10/14/2025, and the violation remains. I did get a phone call from the owners this week and was able to speak to them. I had to research the case myself since it wasn't mine. I did research the records of the property from old records, new records. There's no record of any fence being permitted at this property. So I advise, they need to go through that permitting process in order to get the fence permitted if they want to allow it to remain. So right now the city's requesting 126 days at $50 a day for the violation.
Okay. Please state your name for the record.
Eugene Harvey.
Okay. Are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance by obtaining the necessary permits within 126 days?
I'll start back a little further. So we just wanted to
pretty much know, why we need a permit in the first place.
That's what the law says.
So, because the whole thing, the fence was there before, the place was built in 1954. We don't know
it's a new fence, you put it up?
No, it's not a new fence. So that's why we, wanted to talk to someone, because when we asked questions before, it's like, oh, just get a permit, nobody can look at it, because I have the survey, and then the fence was already there. So on the inside, we connected wood. It's connected, so we didn't have to do no construction there. So it's like clamps that's connected to the fence. So we didn't have to put cement down or anything like that. It's just connected to the fence. So, but when I asked, did it ever have a permit? And he said his records show that it never had a permit. So our guess was like it already had a permit. And
How long have you owned the property?
7 years now.
And that fence has existed for the entire time you owned the property?
Yes.
So what probably happened here is the fence was put in by the prior owner without getting a permit. And so it's come to the attention of the city, be it late, and so what you have to do is you have to do it after the fact permit to get it inspected, et cetera. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Good morning. My name is Nadej Vilks, and when I first talked to the first inspector that was in front of the property, she mentioned like the property wasn't sturdy. And then I explained to her that this area usually gets flooded terribly. Water goes inside. So the reason why the fence looked like it's not sturdy, that's what I thought she gave the survey for, because the fence, she mentioned that the fence wasn't sturdy enough for a hurricane.
Okay.
So, and I explained to her because of the floods, when cars run to the water keep blasting over and over on the fence and shift it back and forth. That's why it looks like that. And plus, the city digged some spot, and they was putting something under the ground, and there was a pipe that bust and give me a roof damage and everything, and run to the fence.
Okay, when you go through your permitting process, which you have to do the after-the-fact permit, you will get an inspector to come out and look at it, and they'll tell you if any repairs need to be made. Correct?
Okay.
Yep.
As far as the picture, we have picture before and after, and then damage during the construction, and also when they was installing pipes for the drainage, the collapsed the whole gate and fence, and then I have everything in record. That's what make it look so unsteady.
Yeah, that's something you need to take up with whoever was doing the construction. If they damaged your property, that's a separate civil issue.
No, it was the city. When they was doing,
Okay.
that was the city. So we had two instances where when there was fixing the pipes, the drainage system.
Okay.
So one incident, a lot of water just started shooting directly on our fence, on our roof. And then the second incident, like a month, like 2 months later, it was like a flood or something, whatever, and it started shifting our fence.
Okay. I can't give you legal advice, but what you need to do to comply this case is to get a permit. Now, if you can't pass inspection because the damage is from something the city did, you have to take that up with the city at that time, right?
Yes. We did file a claim, but they
Okay.
mentioned if we already have a claim going, it would be illegal to have a second claim to the city. But
Okay, well, if
actually,
you
I
already have a
picture
claim, then
before.
you've done what you need to do. But you gotta get the permit, and then the inspector will tell you what's wrong with the fence, and then you will know if the fence was damaged as a result of what the city did, you will know what it's gonna cost to fix it.
Also, that inspector, his name is Roswell. I have his card because he mentioned that since I have the video of how they break down the fence, he said he was gonna have them fix everything back properly how it was, and they didn't. All they did, they got the tractor to lift the fence and they just a little bit of cement and stamp it down, but they didn't fix it back. So that's what that's why the inspector, when she comes, she realized the fan is not properly set, and that's why she gave the fine. But we never got it back the way it was from original how we get the property.
Okay, so, but do you still have a claim pending?
No, we never got anybody get back to us about neither the roof claim for the water damage or the front fence.
Okay, well, you need to pursue that, and I don't,
With the
you know,
city.
that's not what I do here, it's not my area.
Okay, so
It's
that's
separate,
okay.
so I can't
So
tell you
you
how
guys
to-
deal with the permits?
Yeah.
Pretty
yeah.
much, okay.
Right now, you just need to get the permit. And when the inspector comes out, you can tell them all this, and hopefully they'll help you get the situation resolved.
Okay, so we'll set the 126 days and, you know.
And then before that permit, do we have to take the woods out? Because they're just brackets clamps that, do we have to take it down or get the inspection done first to see if it's
Allowed or not.
qualified or?
I guess when the inspector
Do you
come out, I
understand what
guess.
they're asking? I don't.
Because it was perfectly
They're
done.
just asking if they got to remove it, if that will comply it. But either way, there is no permit for any fence at the property. So once they go through the permitting process, they'll be able to
But
the
submit the
Could they,
documents.
in the alternative, remove the fence and comply it that way?
Yeah, according to them, this wood fence is attached to a chain link fence. That chain link fence still doesn't have a permit either. So even if they remove the wood portion of the fence, the chain link fence doesn't have permits in our system. So
I'm sorry. This might not be your
Everyday cases, yeah, those different.
Yeah.
They just built a new property next to us, and I believe the owner sent us a letter and said our fence is in his property.
Well, you may have to move it anyway.
The thing is, the roof is also on that property.
So that's the biggest thing. So the roof is aligned with the fence, directly aligned with the fence.
Well, a survey will tell if
This is a survey
your
right
fence
here.
is on their property.
I'm sure the roof had a permit because we just got a brand new roof that had a permit.
Okay, well, so you have
for the
two
side.
issues to resolve before you decide whether or not to, you need to first apply for the fence permit. And then, if in fact your fence is on the neighbor's property and you have to make repairs anyway, you might want to move the fence.
If we move it now, our roof is in their property because the roof is on the fence.
Well, I wouldn't bring that up if I were you, but I'm not giving you legal advice, okay?
It's so obvious.
Are they complaining about the roof?
No.
All right,
but
all right.
if they do, anybody that live in that property now,
Okay, well,
if they want to complain
this will
about
be resolved by survey. This is not in front of me today, and it's not my area, so just take care of the permit, okay? And the rest will fall into place.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
thank you, Your Honor.
At this time, we're going to recall the case on page, what page is that? 18. Property address 2098 Northwest 26th Ave.
Your Honor, we investigate and both permits are issued.
Okay.
The roof permit and the electrical permit. I will ask the representative to reappear
Okay,
because he just need to provide us with a letter.
okay, so when do you want him to reappear?
And the next hearing.
Okay, my next hearing is 35 days. Okay, so you understand that you have to submit the report within that 35
A letter. He needs to
letter.
provide us with a letter of the engineer of record requesting the extension.
Okay,
Because he has to issue permits already.
Okay, all right, so have your engineer write a letter to the city, make sure you make it to the inspector's attention, and request an extension.
Stop the fines, Your Honor.
And we'll suspend.
Occupy if they
I
plan.
explained it to him already.
And two, that they have an active permit with the permit number, with the permit numbers listed in the letter.
Can we just provide a copy of the permit with the letter?
We'd like,
No. You gotta redact the letter like I explained to you. and say those things.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Last question. How will we know if an extension is granted?
As soon as you provide the letter to Marie, I will review the letter and she will contact you through an email, letting you know that you have another 180 days to complete the work and resubmit a new report with no repairs required.
Okay.
All right.
Excellent.
Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Yes.
Our next case is on page 12, 3115 Northeast 25th Street. Owner Emilio Rodriguez, case number BE 2504-0199. Oh, Inspector Andrew Gebbia, sorry.
Hi, good morning.
Notice posted at the property on 6/27/25. Notice posted at Waynesboro Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Good morning, Building Inspector Andrew Gebbia, presenting on behalf of Severian Ionescu, presenting case and address as read. There are expired permits related to this property as stated in today's agenda. Required inspections were not completed and the permit was left to expire. This case is not complied. The city is requesting 26 days to come into compliance or a $100 fine per day thereafter.
Yes, good morning. My name is Jorge Medina, and Emilio Rodriguez, the owner, is here with me.
Okay.
I spoke to Severian the other day, and I explained to him the situation that we're going through is, I think we kind of like fell between the cracks. We were not aware that that the city had removed the older contractor, which apparently you guys have not. There is a permit that still appears on there, and he had told me he had requested to be removed so that we could submit our permits, and he can't find it. He says he's called the city, he sent emails. The company's Sun Eagle, they're the ones that have the permit right now. So he was going to do his due process again to have it removed so that we can come in with our new permit. So we're in the process of just resolving. I think it's something that, for whatever reason, fell through the cracks.
Okay.
Okay, so 126 days should be plenty of time for you to resolve the issue.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
How many days, Madam Clerk?
120.
126 days or $100 a day thereafter.
Yeah, that's what he had told me.
I do suggest you contact Inspector Ionescu regarding this matter, and you guys could, move forward and stay on top of it. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Don't let that time expire. If you run into a problem, make sure you
That's
contact
correct.
the inspector.
Yeah,
All
we have the master permit already approved. We do
Okay.
have a master permit. It's just that, and we have electrical, we're getting plumbing. It's just this one that's,
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
we missed it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Our next case is on page 25, Senior Inspector Preston Mark. Property address 1628 Northeast 7th Ave. Owner WBRD Services LLC. Case number BE 23100226. Notice, this case was first heard on 7/18/24 to comply by 9/19/24. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $10,550, which continues to accrue.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This case is not in compliance. The city is requesting to impose fines. The respondent is here to speak.
Please state your name for the record.
Ricardo Demetrius.
All right, this has been going on since it was first heard in July 2024. What's the problem?
Well, we've been working with Preston on the turning the permits, but the issue we had was that the engineer who's on the job to get these corrections turned into Preston has been dragging these corrections. We have also the GC who's on the permit, who's working with the engineer to get it done. So we're just asking for some time just to close out these corrections because we have been in constant communication with Preston.
Your Honor, I can confirm that the permits are in process, so the city will allow 91 days extension and state of fines.
Okay. 91 days, and I'll suspend the fines during that time.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Our next case, also Senior Inspector Preston Mark, is on page 24. Property address 911 Southwest 11th Ave. Owner, Los Potros Real Estate LLC. Case number BE 24010040. This case was first heard on 11/21/24 to comply by 11625. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $50. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $4,500, which continues to accrue.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector of the city, presenting case and address as read. This case is not in compliance. The respondent is here to speak.
Okay, go to the mic, please, Alex. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth by translating from English to Spanish and from Spanish to English?
To the best of my ability, yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Ask him to state his name for the record, please.
¿Su nombre? Buenos días, su señoría. Mi nombre es Juan Carlos Páez.
Okay. Can you ask him what is taking so long?
Él le había dicho que el caso no está en comply, o sea, no, todavía le falta hacer cosas y la jueza está preguntando que por qué se ha demorado tanto tiempo.
Sí. Nuestra empresa compró el terreno para hacer un desarrollo, el cual estamos en proceso de aprobación, de someterlo a la ciudad, y dentro del proceso está la demolición de la estructura existente. Tenemos nuestro GC que hizo la solicitud, pero él está en el proceso de aprobación, todavía no nos ha aprobado.
¿Es esta?
No.
They just recently purchased a property and they going to do some form of development. ¿Usted va a hacer que va a demolerla y hacer una nueva?
Sí.
Okay. They're gonna do redevelopment and they hire a GC that he's working on it.
How long has he owned the property?
¿Cuánto tiempo lleva con la propiedad?
No recuerdo exactamente, este año se compró, pero no recuerdo la fecha.
This year. Yeah, he purchased this year. So apparently, person is what do we cite for demolition?
The violation involved the remodel of the unit. At this time, based on my conversation with Juan Carlo, they're proposing to demo the property to rebuild put a new development at that location.
Okay, la van a demoler completa? Okay, so the plan is to demolish the whole property, demolishing the violation per se, but all of that is going to be included in the scope of work and the new permit application that's being submitted.
Okay. All right, so how much
He
time?
purchased the property in November of last year.
¿Cuánto tiempo
Not
está
this year.
pidiendo?
Sí, el arquitecto nos dice que debemos estar iniciando ya la obra el próximo año.
Pero para el permiso, ¿usted aplicó ya para el permiso?
No, el permiso lo van a aplicar para noviembre. Aparentemente para enero o febrero nos deberían dar la respuesta para iniciar la obra.
¿Quién le va a dar la respuesta?
La ciudad.
No, pero, o sea, el permiso, usted no ha sometido ninguna aplicación todavía de permiso.
Del proyecto no, de demolición sí.
O de demolición sí,
De
ok.
demolición, sí.
Ok. ¿Y cuánto tiempo está pidiendo?
90 días.
90. So he submitted for a demolition permit. He's requesting 90-day extension.
The city will support a 90-day extension.
Yes, we have a neighbor here to
Yeah, I was
speak.
just going to say, I believe there's someone else, Your Honor, who wants to
Alex,
speak.
I have a neighbor that wants to speak to you.
Please come forward.
Okay. Before this property was violated, nobody lived in the main house for
Can you
approximately...
place your name?
I'm sorry.
For the record and
My
speak
name
into
is
the
Sandra
microphone.
Stengel. Okay. Before this property was violated, nobody lived in the main house for approximately 6 months. Within days of the violation, people were moved into the house, and at that time it was used as a crew house, or so it appeared. The building department was notified at the time of this change in occupancy, and our concern for the safety of the occupants was voiced. There's a couple now living in there and multiple people in the efficiency. The former owner was violated and operated both units for 10 months after being violated before he sold the building while it was under violation. The new owners bought the property on November 27th of 2024 and have failed to properly correct the said violations after 322 days of ownership. As of today, the violation is 642 days old. 642 days, people are living in there that could get hurt, okay? Things that were changed was electric was run underground, new meter boxes were put in, electric was put in that wasn't ever there before for washers and dryers and stuff. Lights have been put up in the ceilings, air conditioners were moved, walls to the kitchen were moved. When the tenants were originally moved in there, they said in front of the Lazy Boy, there was a pole holding it up because the retaining walls were taken down, and in order to get into the Lazy Susan, they had to move the thing, and the whole ceiling would sag, okay? So after 640, currently shows 97 days of fines. Currently, there are no new fines being applied, so they've been suspended for approximately 515 days. The prior owner knew how to work the system, and appears the new owner knows all the same tricks plus more. They were aware of this when they bought it. They made the prior owner clear up all the code cases, but they didn't get the building thing done. That is, they applied for a demolition permit on 6/23 of 25, and is still marked in the city as awaiting plans, and there are still tenants living in both units. It is extremely concerning that the city has not taken this case seriously, as there are multiple people and animals that could be injured or killed still living in these two units. It is also concerning that the city has put it on the taxpayers as a risk of a lawsuit. That is, if someone gets hurt from all this unlicensed work, the city is partially responsible because they cited it for said violations almost 2 years ago, and they aren't even applying fines. The fact that there have been multiple city meetings on this violation furthers the city's responsibility to the political potential hazards that continue to go unaddressed. We like the people that live in those units, and we don't want to see anybody get hurt. And I don't understand how the violation could be. The city saw that the retaining wall was taken, and it was okay to put people in there after that was done. So,
Okay,
thank
all
you
right.
very much.
I appreciate your comments. What can be done about the tenants that are living there now?
I was not aware that there were tenants living there.
Yeah, he says that he has tenants living there.
So none of
So
this
what would
work
the
is-
plan be? Because if there's a demolition permit in and you've got tenants, like how does that work?
¿Cuál es el plan? Si aplicó para un permiso de demolición, ¿cuál es el plan para los tenientes?
Ya le informamos que ellos tienen que desocupar y nos pidieron que mientras que saliera el permiso de demolición, lo dejáramos ahí. Que cuando salga el permiso de demolición, ellos se van.
Ellos se van. He's saying that they've been notified and they are supposed to move out when the permit is issued.
It doesn't work that way. A condition of a demolition permit is that the power must be turned off, so one doesn't happen before the other. The people need to be out first, not the other way around. A condition of the demo permit is obviously to turn the power off, disconnect the water, and some other items. So the demo permit will never be issued if people live in there.
Está comunicando que una de las condiciones para que le den el permiso de demolición es que el agua tiene que estar desconectada y la corriente tiene que estar desconectada. Eso no puede pasar si hay personas viviendo en la propiedad.
Okay. Entiendo. Entonces,
He understands.
Ok, entonces bueno, vamos a solicitarle a los inquilinos que se retiren para poder continuar con el permiso de demolición. Iríamos a necesitar entonces los 90 días para eso.
He's requesting 90 days to have the tenants, to request for the tenants to move out, to complete that condition so that he can continue with the demolition permit.
I think, Your Honor, in light of the neighbor's testimony, we would like the fines imposed. This is a Massey hearing, and at the end of the day, when the property comes into compliance, they can go through the lien amnesty. Have to look at the occupancy, but again, this isn't this is just renovations without permits, so we would like the fines imposed.
Okay, apparently, there's nothing I can do about the tenants that are living there, because, I mean, I would grant the 91 days if the tenants leave right away, but I can't order that part of it, I guess.
Ella le daría la extensión de los 91 días, pero ella no puede hacer que los inquilinos se muden. Por esa razón, lo más probable no va a poder...
Ya está hablado con los inquilinos porque tenemos un contrato de mes a mes en donde ellos están de acuerdo que a lo que nosotros le digamos ellos salen.
Yes, month-to-month tenancies?
Yeah, it's basically saying they're month-to-month tenants, and they would move out, in theory, when requested.
Right, again, I think but based upon what the neighbor said and what Joe has added, it's like the chicken or the egg, right? Because the permit is not going to be issued without that sewer cap and the FPL disconnect letter. That presupposes the people have to move out. If they don't move out, irrespective of their month-to-month tenancy, then arguably he'd have to evict them, which could end up being, again, months and months and months, and then all of those conditions, especially as detailed by the neighbor that were already pre-existing when he bought the property, are still there. Dangerous or not, we don't know. So I think, Your Honor, based upon a lot of those moving parts, we would like the fines imposed. Again, the property owner can still move forward, and again, go to lien amnesty once the property is in compliance.
Okay, could you explain that to him?
La situación es que el hecho de eso no garantiza básicamente que ellos, los tenientes, se vayan a mudar. Usted le puede decir que se muden, pero si ellos no se mudan, tendrían que entrar en el proceso de evicción, que eso puede demorar y tardarse y tardarse. Por esas razones, hoy día la magistrada no puede darle una extensión adicional. Lo que se le recomienda es que maneje las condiciones para que le den su permiso, empiece el proceso, pero lo más probable no le van a dar una extensión hoy día.
Y si no me da la extensión, ¿cuáles son, qué es lo que pasa, qué pasaría?
So basically, he's asking what happens next if without the extension. You want me to explain to him?
Yeah, the fines will just continue to accrue. And then he'll go through the amnesty process, and they'll tell him what they'll be reduced to.
So, básicamente, entonces, hoy lo que hacen es se imponen la multa continúa a acumularse diariamente en la cantidad que se determinó el día que se encontró que había una violación. Cuando ya usted le den su permiso, que ya esté en compliance con el caso, queriendo decir, se mudaron los tenientes, tiene su permiso ahora, no está en violación, usted tiene la opción de aplicar para un lien amnesty y entonces iría frente al magistrado para pedir una rebaja de la multa. Okay.
And Your Honor, the compliance would take place once the building is completely demoed.
Yeah.
Good point. Compliance, o sea, el caso estaría terminado cuando le den su permiso, pero como usted lo citaron por trabajo sin permiso, lo que se hizo en el interior, usted le están dando un permiso para demolerlo, entonces ese permiso en verdad no refleja la violación, tiene que demoler la estructura. Cuando la estructura fue demolida ya y se puede verificar que las inspecciones fueron aprobadas, el caso entonces entra en compliance.
Entiendo, y de aquí a esa oportunidad, entonces continúa la multa.
Sí, continúa la multa diariamente.
Diariamente.
Sí.
Okay, lo entiendo y lo acepto.
Okay, he understands and accepts.
He applied for it. What I'm also not getting is he applied for the demo permit in June. They must have told him by now, or maybe there's comments waiting for his attention, that he's got to shut off the electricity and the water, etc. So make sure he understands that.
Usted tiene un contratista, okay, porque ese permiso ya fue aplicado desde junio. típicamente no se demoran tanto un permiso, so hay una parte ahí que está preveniendo que se continúe moviendo el permiso a lo más probable, no le puedo decir con certeza, pero muchas veces se le manda la notificación al contratista y el contratista no somete lo que es correcciones, lo que le llamamos correcciones, ¿no? No digo que sea eso, pero no es normal que se demore tanto tiempo para un permiso de demolición, a menos que hagan deficiencia. Esa deficiencia, el dueño, el contratista es responsable por someter esas deficiencias para que le den una, pudiendo ser las condiciones que mencionaron de que el agua y la corriente tienen que estar conectados. Okay.
Hablaré con el contratista. Para insistirle que obtenga rápidamente el permiso definitivo.
Okay. He understands. He's going to talk to his contractor.
Okay, all right, so we'll impose the fine that'll continue to accrue, and I hope you get your demo permit quickly, but you've got to get those tenants out of there to do that. Okay.
Sí, que van a imponer la multa, van a continuar a acumularse y que le sea suerte que coja su permiso rápido, que saque su teniente para que pueda le puedan dar su permiso. Okay.
Gracias por su buenos deseos.
Thank you for the good wishes.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
And thank you to the neighbor who came to testify.
Yes. Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Your Honor, at this time, the respondents that we have left here, unfortunately, they don't have the proper paperwork.
Okay.
So, but I'm going to call the cases that they are interested in.
Okay, all right, so they don't have to sit here?
Right.
While
Okay,
we do
moving to page 2.
Okay.
Property address 903. Oh, that's Alex. I'm sorry. Are you ready? No, it's okay. I'll call another one, Alex. Sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you were saying that one is him. So 21? Okay. Page 21. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 771 Northwest 22nd Road. Case number BE 24090033, owner Franklin Jackson Corp. This case was first heard on 3/20/25 to comply by 7/17/25. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $4,500, which continues to accrue.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case is not complied. I will let the respondent to speak.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
My name is Willie Carswell. This is my wife, Trishelle Carswell. We're the descendants of the owner, the previous owner. He passed, unfortunately, in June, funeral in July. But I've spoken with the inspector, Saragusti. He's given me the information that we need to get in compliance. We just need an extension to get it taken care of. He's even given me the number to call, so that won't be a problem.
Okay, but...
The city support 63 days extension and stop the fines.
Okay, 63 days, and we'll suspend the fines during that time.
Please, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Our next case, Alex, we're going to do page 20 first. Page 20, property address 4008 Northwest 21st Ave, owner Gillespie Realty MD LLC, case number B 24010078. This case was first heard on 6/20/24 to comply by 9/19/24. Fine system is noted. One section complied at $50. The city is requesting to reduce the administrative cost of $1,595.
Alexander Alvarez, Building Inspector for the city, updating you on case number and address is read. Case is complied as stated. Respondent, it's here to speak.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Rosmik Surnailin.
Okay, are you, he doesn't have power of attorney, so what I'm going to do is the city has agreed to reduce the fines from $14,650 to administrative costs of $1,595. So I'm going to impose the cost of $1,595.
Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Moving on to page 2. Property address 903 East Cypress Creek Road. Owner 903 Cypress Creek LLC. Case number BE 25020197. Notice posted at the property on 10/2/25. Notice posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Alexander Lapores, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number and address as read. The property was cited for violation of Florida Building Code 2023, Section 105.1 for work without permit, for dividing tenant space number 909 into two separate spaces now identified as space 909 and 909B. Alterations to storefront, change of use without the required permits. The case was opened on February 19, 2025. Records show a permit application submitted as of June 6, 2025. City is requesting for the magistrate to find the violation exists and grant the property owner 126 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter, and for the final order to be recorded.
Okay, did you want to say anything?
Michael Cervalli, I agree.
Okay, good. All right, 126 days or $50 a day thereafter. Thank you.
Okay. Is he waiting for an inspector?
I guess.
I'm sorry, Alex, is he waiting for you?
I wasn't aware, apparently.
That concludes all of our respondents. Moving on to page 1, property address 1849 Middle River Drive, owner PBS Engineering Procurement and Construction LLC. Case number BE 2503-0225. Notice posted at the property on 6/25/25. Posted at 1 East Borough Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Good morning, Inspector Wilson Quintero Jr. presenting on behalf of the city. Case and address as read. This case was first opened March 31st, 2025, and the following violations were found. 24-11D, all solid waste and construction debris shall be removed from the site or placed within a suitable container within 24 hours. 47-19.5.E.7. The mesh fabric on this chain link fence is in disrepair. There are sections which are not secured, torn, and or missing. 9-1D, any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of, but not limited to, temporary construction fence, has an expired permit, BLD-FEN-22080073. Inspection report mailed out March 31st, 2025, scheduled for Magistrate May 1st, 2025, pre-hearing inspection conducted on 10/14/2025, and the violations remain.
Okay.
City is requesting 10 days at $100 a day for violation 24-11D and 42 days at $100 a day for the other violations.
So ordered.
Thank you.
At the bottom of page 1, property address 2600 Delmar Place, owner Michael F. Maldol and Margaret A. Case number BE 25040028. Notice posted at the property on 6/23/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Good morning, Senior Inspector Rich for the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case and address are as read by the clerk. Case was originally cited on April 9, 2025 by Inspector Katie Williams, and the following violation was cited. 9-1D, any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided in this section. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits, consistent of but not limited to 2 wood pilings placed in the waterway. An inspection report was mailed on April 9, 2025 to owner listed in Broward County Property Appraiser. As of pre-hearing inspection on October 15, 2025, the violation remains. No permits have been applied for. The city is requesting 126 days or $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 2, property address 1524 Southeast 13th Street. Oh, we did that one. I knew that. Property address 6733 Northwest 29th Way, case number BE 25040098. Owner Estefania Ugueto and Edgardo Ugueto and all others. Notice posted at the property on 6/24/24. Notice posted at the 1 East Rock Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Alexander Laborez, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case number and address as read. There are expired permits related to this property. The required inspections were not scheduled and the permit was left to expire. City is requesting for the magistrate to find violation exists and grant the property owner 126 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 3, Senior Inspector Mary Rich, property address 1100 South Federal Highway, owner South Federal Highway Dental Building LLC, case number BE 25040175. Notice posted at the property on 6/23/25. Notice posted at 1 East Road Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Inspector Senior Mary Rich, presenting for the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case and address are as read by the clerk. The case was originally cited on April 24, 2025, and the following violation was cited. 47-19.5.J.1, there is non-permitted temporary construction fence on the property that is obstructing the sight triangle visibility at Southeast 6th Terrace and Ponce de Leon Drive. The inspection report was mailed on April 25, 2025, to the owner listed in BCPA by admin. As of pre-hearing inspection on October 15, 2025, the violation remains as no permits have been issued. The city is requesting 126 days or $50 per day thereafter.
A question before you rule, Your Honor. If it's impeding the site visibility, why are we giving them so much time, and if they haven't started?
They removed the fence from the site visibility,
okay,
but they don't have the permit.
Okay. So ordered.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Moving on to page 4, Inspector Linda Holloway, property address 2091 Southwest 36th Terrace, owner A&R Paving Solutions LLC, case number BE 25050022. Notice posted at the property on 6/30/25. Notice posted at 1 East Road Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Good morning, Inspector Linda Holloway, property address and case number is read. The property was cited on May 5th, 2025, and the following violation was observed as depicted in the photos. 9-1D, any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for in this section. There is construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits, consisting of but not limited to a fence. I spoke with Reginald on the phone on the day of that the property was cited, told him that he needed to obtain a permit. May 7th, an inspection report was mailed out. I've had no further contact with Reginald. The city is requesting 119 days or $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Moving on to page 6 at the top, Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 2330 Northwest 20th Street, owner Lee A. Oliver Estate, case number BE 25040196. Notice posted at the property on 6/26/25. Notice posted at 1 East Road Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Inspector Saragusti, sorry. Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. This property have been cited on the Florida Building Code 2023, Section 105.1 for work without permit for the front enclosed area, and City Ordinances 2026, Section 9-280B for flat roof, roof overhang fascia, and ceiling on the back of the room. The case was opened on April 28, 2025. Inspection report was made on May 5th, 2025. Notice of hearing was made on June 26, 2025. I have been in contact with the property owner. We are asking to the magistrate to find that the violation exists and grant the property owner 126 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Moving on to page 7, Senior Inspector Preston Mark, property address 1720 Southwest 23rd Ave, owner U.S. Prime Capital LLC, case number BE 24120092. Notice posted at the property on 8/1/25. Notice posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 2023-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to: alteration of this home, including kitchen, bathrooms, windows and doors, wall cladding, the electrical service, and AC changeout. The case was opened 12/16/2024. Inspection report mailed 1/3/2025, and special magistrate notice mailed 3/13/2025. I recently spoke with Cindy, the permit runner, who indicated that the owner is in the process of pulling the permits. I did confirm that permits are in review. At this time, the city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and grant the property owner 126 days to come in compliance or fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Property address 4741 Northeast 19th Ave, owner Pearl Hospitality LLC, case number BE 23050080. Notice posted at the property on 9/22/25, posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Preston Mark, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. The property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 2023-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to: the interior model of the home, including kitchen and bathrooms. The case was opened 5/9/2023. Inspection report mailed 5/15/2025, and special magistrate notice mailed 6/24/2025. I recently spoke with the owner's stepson, who indicated that the home is currently under probate and is in process of being sold. In August 25, the property was sold to Pearl Hospitality, and at present they're in the process of pulling the required permits. The city is requesting that the magistrate find that the violations exist and grant the property owner 126 days to come in compliance or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 8, Senior Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 712 Southwest 4th Place, case number BE 25030023, owner George Guanaris, Sophia Pasolakis. Notice posted at the property on 7/25/25. Notice posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Building Inspector Martinez for the city, presenting case number and address as read. Permits were left to expire as stated in today's agenda, and as of 10/15/2025 remain expired. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance within the next 126 days or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Property address 823 Southwest 25th Street, 1-3, owner El Tamarindo 84 LLC, case number BE 24120117. Notice posted at the property on 7/2/25. Notice posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, presenting case as read. This building has been illegally altered and construction work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to: a new roof and roof structure for the laundry room, and 3 new ACs. The city will request 126 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
The bottom of page 8, property address 1050 Southeast 15th Street, number 308, case number BE 25030021, owner Brittany Butler. Notice posted at the property on 6/25/25. Notice posted at 1 Eastboro Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Building Inspector Martinez for the city, presenting case number and address as read. Permits were left to expire as stated in today's agenda, and as of 10/15/2025 remain expired. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance within the next 126 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Page 9 at the top, property address 3330 East Oakland Park Boulevard. Owner, Thassos Island LLC. Case number BE 25020218. Notice posted at the property on 6/24/25, posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Building Inspector Martinez for the city, presenting case number and address as read. Permits were left to expire as stated in today's agenda, and as of 10/15/2025 remained expired. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance within the next 126 days or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 11 at the bottom, Inspector Andrew Gebbia, property address 2895 Northeast 32nd Street, number 106, case number BE 25020215. Owner Daniel A. Ranger. Notice posted at the property on 6/27/25, posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Building Inspector Andrew Gebbia for the city, presenting on behalf of Severian UNESCO. The case and address is read. This building has been illegally altered and construction work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to an air conditioning unit replaced. This case was opened on 2/21/2025. The inspection report was mailed on 3/24/2025. The special magistrate hearing was scheduled on 6/24/2025. The city is requesting the special magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 126 days to come into compliance or $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Moving on to page 13, property address 729 Southeast 16th Court, owner New Harbor Lofts Homeowners Association, case number BE 25040009. Notice posted at the property on 6/24/25. Notice posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 2023-105.1. Work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to concrete work in the right-of-way. This case was opened on 4/1/2025. The inspection report was mailed on 4/2/2025. The special magistrate was scheduled on 5/5/2025. I arrived at this property on 4/1/2025. I met with one of the owners in the complex, Christoph Ernst. He informed me that the Property Management Association took it upon themselves to remove the gravel on each side of the apron, east and west sides, and had a handyman pour concrete. Now it floods on each side of the driveway as it created poor drainage. This concrete was done also in the right-of-way, and it was done without a permit. There is a permit submitted for a rock replacement in the swale area, which more information is needed for that permit and is awaiting client reply. The city is requesting the special magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 126 days to come into compliance or $50 a day fine thereafter.
So ordered.
Page 14, property address 1215 Northeast 14th Ave. Owner John Kyle Miller, case number BE 25040112. Notice posted at the property on 6/25/25, posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under FBC 2023-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to a PVC fence, patio and walkways, kitchen, bathroom, structural, plumbing, and electrical. This case was opened on 4/11/2025. The inspection report was mailed on 4/11/2025. The special magistrate was scheduled on 5/22/2025. I visited this property on 4/14/2025. As I pulled up, I observed new fence installed along with a new patio and some new walkways. I then researched this address online and found some photos of a new kitchen and new bathroom installed. I checked records and there were no permits on file for any of this work that I discovered. I have spoken with the owner of the property, Kyle Miller. He has submitted permit applications for the patio and walkway, also the interior renovations. Both permits submitted needed corrections, and he's working on that. And a fence permit was completed on 10/9/2019. The city is requesting the special magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 126 days to come into compliance or a $50 a day fine thereafter.
So ordered. At the bottom of page 14, property address 1329 Southwest 31st Street. Owner E&Z Investment Services Corp. Inc., case number BE 25030049. Notice posted at the property on 7/25/25. Posted at 1 East Road Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under FBC 2023-105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to windows, doors, and exterior front columns. This case was opened on 3/6/2025. The inspection report was mailed on 3/11/2025. Special magistrate was scheduled on 4/30/2025. I arrived at this property on 3/11/2025. The house is for sale and it appeared vacant. I observed new windows and doors installed. When I researched the property online, I noticed there were new columns installed as well. The old columns are round, the new ones are square. None of these items listed are permitted. I left a courtesy note on the front door. I've had no contact with the owner of the property. The city is requesting the special magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 126 days to come into compliance or $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered. Page 15 at the top, property address 1607 Northwest 10th Ave. Case number BE 25040087. Owner Virginia Olivares Taylor-Hearted. Homestead exempted Juan Carlos Olivares. Notice posted at the property on 6/25/25. Notice posted at 1 East Road Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. There are expired permits related to this property as stated in today's agenda. This case is not complied. I've spoke to the owner of this property, Virginia, many times. She's working on voiding this permit herself. She never had this work done. The contractor went and pulled all the permits, but never did anything to this property. She actually went to the building department yesterday, and she's trying to void the permit themselves. They mailed a certified letter to the contractor who will not return their phone calls, and then is a process of her voiding the permit. So she's working on that. The city is requesting the magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 126 days to come into compliance or a $50 a day fine thereafter.
So ordered. Property address 1625 Southwest 30th Ave. Owner 1625 Home Pros LLC. Case number BE 25050062. Notice posted at the property on 6/30/25. Notice posted at 1 East Broad Boulevard 10/2/25.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. There are expired permits related to this property as stated in today's agenda. This case is not complied. These permits have not had their inspections and they're still expired. The city is requesting the magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 126 days to come into compliance or $100 a day thereafter.
So ordered. Property address 2555 Northeast 11th Street, number 409. Case number BE 25030249. Owner Henriette Kretza. Notice posted at the property on 6/24/25. Notice posted at 1 East Road Boulevard 10/2/25.
Andrew Gebbia, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. There are expired permits related to this property as stated in today's agenda. This case is not complied. These permits have not had their inspections and the permits are still expired. The city is requesting the magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 126 days to come into compliance or $50 a day thereafter. There is a renewal in process for this permit.
So ordered. Property address 2613 Center Ave. Owner 2613 Center Avenue LLC. Case number BE 25040041. Notice posted at the property on 6/24/25. Notice posted at Waynesboro Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Andrew Gebbia, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under FBC 105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to concrete driveway extension. This case was opened up on 4/4/2025. The inspection report was mailed on 4/7/2025. Special magistrate was scheduled on 5/22/2025. I arrived at this property on 4/7/2025. I observed two different concrete pours. Based on the photos and the plans that were submitted, there was an extension of the driveway to the side of approximately 10 feet. That was not in the original permit submittal, not in the original scope of work. The city is requesting the special magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 126 days to come into compliance or $50 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Page 16, property address 2615 Center Ave, case number BE 25040040. Owner Marissa Groen. Notice posted at the property on 6/24/25, posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Andrew Gebbia, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited for violation under Florida Building Code 2023 105.1, work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to concrete driveway extension. This case was opened on 4/4/2025. The inspection report was mailed on 4/7/2025. Special magistrate was scheduled on 5/22/2025. I arrived at this property on 4/7/2025. I observed two different concrete pours. Based on the photos and the plans that were submitted, there was an extension of the driveway to the side of approximately 10 feet. This was not in the original permit submittal, not in the original scope of work. The city is requesting the special magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 126 days to come into compliance or $50 a day fine thereafter. These are neighboring properties of the same builder. The same builder did the same thing.
Okay.
Both of these properties are working on getting this complied.
So ordered.
Property address 2850 Northeast 32nd Street. Owner Mill Capital LLC. Case number BE 25040143. Notice posted at the property on 6/24/25. Notice posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Andrew Gebbia, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. These are expired permits related to this property as stated in today's agenda. This case is not complied. These permits have not had their inspections and the permits are still expired. The city is requesting the magistrate to find that these violations exist and to grant the property owner 126 days to come into compliance or a fine of $100 a day thereafter. I have had no contact with these owners of the property.
Okay, so ordered.
At the bottom of page 16, property address 3624 Northeast 25th Terrace. Owner Maravilla Coral Ridge LLC. Case number BE 25050078. Notice posted at the property on 6/25/25. Posted at 1 East Royal Boulevard on 10/2/25.
Andrew Gebbia, Building Inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. There are expired permits related to this property as stated in today's agenda. This case is not complied. These permits have not had their inspections and the permits are still expired. The city is requesting the magistrate to find that the violations exist and to grant the property owner 126 days to come into compliance or a fine of $100 a day thereafter. I have had no contact with the owners of this property either.
Okay, so ordered.
Just to let everyone know, we're still having a hearing here today. Thank you. Page 17. Northwest 13th Ave, case number BE 25040065. Owner Terra Nova Investments North America LLC.
I have this withdrawn.
No. Case number BE 25060191. Property address 1135 Northeast 11th Ave A-B. Owner 1135 Northeast 11th Ave LLC. This property was cited on 6/19/25 to comply by 6/20/25. One section complied at $200. Appeal deadline 7/4/25. No appeal received.
City is requesting to impose $200.
But do we have pictures or testimony? Because notwithstanding the fact that it wasn't an appeal, we still have to present to the magistrate something to base her finding on.
Even with the master, we do that? The citation?
What's a citation? Yeah, but I mean, yeah.
We don't have any.
Everything's deemed admitted, but still I usually have.
But you have to admit something.
Yeah.
We don't have pictures?
No. We don't have any pictures for any of these citations. So did you want us to withdraw them and bring them back next month?
Yeah, let's do that, please.
Okay. Case number is BE 2506-0191 and BE 240-30183 is withdrawn. Okay. Page 19. Property address 4845 Northeast 25th Ave. Owner Christ Church United Methodist, Inc. Case number BE 23090167. This case was first heard on 4/18/24 to comply by 4/28/24. One section complied at $100. Total accrued fine $17,300. City is requesting to reduce to $1,275.
So ordered.
Page 20 at the top, property address 2617 North Ocean Boulevard. Owner Ghulam H. Usman. Case number BE 24020053. This case was first heard on 9/19/24 to comply by 11/21/24. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $16,400, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Page 21 at the bottom, property address 909 Breakers Ave, C-1. Owner Breakers of Fort Lauderdale Condominium Association. Case number BE 24110140. This case was first heard on 5/15/25 to comply by 7/17/25. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $9,000, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Page 22 in the middle, property address 2031 Northeast 52nd Street. Owner Scott Senth. Case number BE 2410074. This case was first heard on 5/15/25 to comply by 7/17/25. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $4,500, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Page 23 at the top, property address 2666 Key Largo Lane. Owner Buck Boyd Bauer. Case number BE 2410090. Senior Inspector Jose Saragusti. This case was first heard on 5/15/25 to comply by 7/17/25. One section complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $4,000.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case is compliant. The city requesting administrative fees of $900.
So ordered.
Page 23 at the bottom, property address 3131 Southwest 2nd Ave. Owner JAS Marine Service, Inc. Case number ENF-BLD-191000065. This case was first heard on 3/20/25 to comply by 7/17/25. One section complied at $50. City is requesting the full amount of $29,150.
Inspector Saragusti, on behalf of the city, presenting the case as read. The case is in compliance. The city is requesting administrative fees of $1,129.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Page 24 at the top, property address 702 Northwest 6th Ave. Owner Started from the Ground Up LLC. Case number BE 24050159. This case was first heard on 1/16/25 to comply by 3/20/25. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $7,300, which continues to accrue.
So ordered.
Page 25 at the top, property address 1405 Northeast 4th Court.
Case number BE 23120132, owner Saeed Tasharofi. This case was first heard on 6/20/24 to comply by 9/19/24. Fine suspended as noted in the agenda. One section complied at $50. Total accrued fine $7,750. City is requesting to reduce the administrative cost of $1,404.
So ordered.
Property, I'm sorry. Okay. Your Honor, we're going to go back to page 17 because we do have evidence for those two cases that I said are withdrawn.
Okay.
So those cases are no longer withdrawn. So, case number BE 25060191. Thank you, Wilson. Property address 1135 Northeast 11th Ave A-B. Owner 1135 Northeast 11th Avenue LLC. This property was cited on 6/19/25 to comply by 6/20/25. One section complied at $200. Appeal deadline 7/4/25. No appeal received. City's requesting to impose $200.
So ordered.
Property address BE 24030183. 2880 Northeast 25th Street. Owner VLP Consulting LLC. This property was cited on 3/29/24 to comply by 4/5/24. One section complied at $150. Total accrued fines $500. Appeal deadline 4/13/24. No appeal received. City is requested to impose $500.
So ordered.
Page. Oh, we didn't do this one, right? Oh no, we did. We did them all. We did. Okay. At this time, Your Honor, we would like to have all the cases listed on page 29 into the record as closed or withdrawn.
So ordered.
Thank you. This concludes our October 16, 2025 Special Magistrate hearing for the Building Division.
Okay.